Welcome to the Nash Attack. Thank you so much for checking out my episode earlier this week. I told you guys last week that I had a show that I needed you to watch. I told you guys to watch The Ultimatum on Netflix because we're going to dig in deep into that today. We're also going to talk about the VPR reunion part 2. And I know I usually record episodes on Tuesday and Friday, but this Friday, I wasn't feeling it. And instead of just not doing it at all, I figured, let me just do it Saturday night, date night, Saturday night. Yes. So that is what I'm doing. Hope that you have had a great week, that you watched great television, and that the job market was good to you, because it was not great to me. I keep having this thing happen to me. At first I thought it was just an anomaly. Now I think it's malicious. No, I don't know if it's malicious. I think it's more just automation, bad automation. The double rejection. I will get rejected from a job. Okay, that's totally fine. And then a few days later, I'll get rejected from the same job again. Like,
hello, Nash. Just reaching out to let you know that we're very sorry. Unfortunately, we've decided to go with someone else for the role. I know that we emailed you earlier this week to let you know that you weren't our pick, but we just wanted to make sure that you knew how much we did not want you. You didn't meet any of our qualifications. We had way, way more qualified candidates apply than you. And we're going to be offering this job to somebody else. We're going to be sending you an email in a few weeks to let you know who that person is, just so we can step on your neck a little bit more. Okay, unfortunately, we're going to have your resume on file and never call you for other jobs that you might be qualified for, because why would we ever go digging through those old resumes again? Again, Nash, you didn't get the job. Thank you.
yeah, so it's been a lot of that this week. But the other thing I wanted to talk about really quick, and I am not being paid to talk about this. Boy, I wish I was. I don't care, though. I don't care. I am that passionate about this topic. Barbie, the Barbie movie. You have no idea how excited I am for the Greta Gerwig Barbie movie. It's going to be so good. I am a huge Barbie fan. I am a Barbie collector, not a collector in the sense of I get the fancy Christmas collection. No, I buy whatever Barbie that I see is cute, grab her and play with it at my house. I have a collection of Barbie dolls. Yeah, a couple of years ago, I decided to start doing like inner child work. I started reading a lot about that, and I took that basically to mean invest a disgusting amount of money into toys and material things that I thought would make me happy, and they do make me really happy, and I still play with a lot of the stuff, and I'm glad I have it. But yeah, I fell into a real big Barbie hole a couple of years ago. So the movie is going to be incredible. The trailer is so funny. I was concerned about Ryan Gosling because all of my friends, like at first I wasn't. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But Walter, Audie, Beth, all these people that I trust deeply in my life, they just weren't on board with Ryan Gosling as Ken. But then the trailer dropped and I laughed out loud at him a couple of times. So I'm not worried about it. I think he's going to be hilarious. I'll watch literally anything that Issa Rae does. She's in it. I'm on board. And her as President Barbie, cannot wait. I love America Ferrera. Like, I can just go down the list of every person who's in this movie and tell you how much I love them and how excited I am to see it. But then there's just the nostalgia of Barbie and the Barbie pink. I am not a super feminine person, but I have the Barbie bug. I've always had it. I don't know what it is. It's how I learned how to do hair. I just love Barbie. I love everything about the universe. If you are ever in Las Vegas and you get a chance, I've done it twice because it's so cool. Go to the Barbie experience at the Crystal's Mall. It's so fun. They have just all of the Barbies, literally, like the first Barbie. They have all of the original outfits. It's just a great time, and it's a photo op. Get your ticket on Groupon though. It's so much cheaper to get it on Groupon than buy it at the place. That's my tip if you go to the Barbie experience. But it's just this really cute photo experience. I'll post some pictures of whenever I went. I went with Beth, and then I also took Walter whenever we went on our Christmas Vegas jamboree thing that we did this past winter. And we just had a blast. It's such a good time. But they have the Barbie car and you get to sit in it. It's so much fun. I am just obsessed. I would just say to anybody out there, whoever you are, I don't care gender, age, if you loved Barbie and you don't have one right now, go get yourself a Barbie. There's some cheap ones. There's some that are like $7. I mean, she's not that expensive. Treat yourself to a Barbie. I like the Barbie color reveals. It's the Barbies that come in these crazy tubes, and then you open it and then you fill the tube with hot water and you dunk the Barbie and something happens, like her, if it's a mermaid, the mermaid tail changes colors, or she has on an outfit now, or one of them, it just looks like a Westworld silver skin thing, and then she turns into a Barbie. It's just crazy. It's really fun. It makes really pretty water, and you get a bunch of accessories. I know surprise toys and things like that with all the packaging are the scourge of the environment, but they're so fun, and the color reveals are so fun, and I love dunking and dipping all the little accessories. It's really fun and cute. But then also, if you had that Barbie that you always wanted when you were a kid, the Jewel Barbie, Totally Hair Barbie, Barbie and the Rockers, there were so many fantastic Barbies, Fairy Barbie, there were so many really good ones, Rapunzel. I mean, I could just keep thinking of all of the fun, beautiful Barbies from my childhood. And depending on your age, they were different, the ones that were in vogue at the time. If there's one that you want, go on your Facebook Marketplace, go on eBay, and buy that bad boy for yourself. Just get it for yourself. Treat yourself to that Barbie. And then when that movie comes out, we were going to go in full force and let people know how much we love Barbie. And we're going to support the shit out of that film because it looks diverse, it looks cute, and I just love Barbie, so I'm really excited about it, and I want everybody to be excited about it with me. I cannot wait to see it. Oh, it's going to be so fun. We will, of course, recap it on here. I want to go day one. But yeah, just wanted to talk about Barbie real quick. Maybe I'll take some pictures and show some pictures of my Barbie collection now that I've admitted to having it. But highly recommend buying yourself a Barbie doll. Okay, let's get into some grown-up topics. Let's talk reality television. I told you guys last week that I want you to watch The Ultimatum, Queer Love on Netflix because we're going to dig in deep. So there's going to be spoilers. We're talking about all 8 episodes, the entire shebang. It's so good. And we're going in depth. Spoilers abound. So if you haven't watched it yet, stop right now, go and watch it. And then after that, we're going to dig deep into the VPR Part 2 reunion, which I know was a little bit boring, a little bit tedious compared to Part 1, but there's still some stuff to unpack and things that we gotta talk about. But first, let's get into The Ultimatum, Queer Love. I want to make sure that I touch on all of the couples and all of the people on the show. So let me make sure I pull up everybody's names, because sometimes I'll do that. I'll go through and then realize I completely left out a whole person from the thing, and then I feel bad. It's okay. This show, I don't know what Netflix's thing is with people getting married, but of course, like Love is Blind, like the original Ultimatum, the end game of this is you either end up married to your spouse, you end up married to this other person, or you end up single. It's always the highest stakes ever. Like, marriage is a huge deal, and Netflix is like, nah, after 3 or 4 weeks, you should be ready to go. And this show, like, you bring in your spouse who you've been with forever, and I'm not gonna say, I'm really gonna be very graceful to the people who participated on the show, because I think it's so bold, it's so cool, it's so encouraging to see people living their truth. These women who love women and this queer love, seeing it out there, it's awesome. And I just think they're so brave for living this authentically and having the deep conversations they had. So I'm going to approach it with a lot of grace, even for some of the less lovable characters that were on the show. But I just from the jump think the whole thing is nuts. To be with someone like in a long-term relationship 3 years in and then decide, let's throw a grenade in this bitch. Let's go on the ultimatum. Let's just break up. Full on date. Not full on date. Full on be married to someone else. Live with the other person. And then, afterwards, let's just see if we still want to get married. Let's do that right at the end. Right at the end. We're just going to get married, not go back home or anything. We're just, bam, it's Netflix. Ending in a marriage. It's bananas, the concept. And I'm like, as a queer person, like, it's really hard to meet people sometimes. And I forget that this is San Diego and not small town Texas or San Francisco. It's one of the sands where either way, it's the West Coast. It's not Texas. It seems like these people are much more comfortable talking about this. It's much easier finding people, because to be like 3 years in with someone and, hey, yeah, like, let's just maybe not be together anymore. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? That's so risky. Like, just batten down the hatches and be together. But no, actually watching the show, it's really good that a lot of these people went on together. I'll give you some of my speculations. Well, not speculations, the ones that I want to stay together and the people who I think should honestly break up. I think it's fair to say that everybody could do with a little bit of therapy probably after this, because this whole experience just ends up opening up so many wounds for all of the people involved. It's I don't know how your relationship can recover from it. I don't know how you as a person can recover from it. It's so emotionally exhausting. So again, that's why I give everybody so much grace, because like, what a weird situation to be thrown in. And hey, thank you for doing it, because it's made for some absolutely entertaining television. So let's start with Mildred, Tiff, Sam, and Ozzy, because they all interlink together, because Mildred and Tiff came in together and Sam and Ozzy came in together, and then they basically ended up doing the whole swaparoo with partners, and they're just living with each other's partner. I loved Tiff and Sam's friendship by the end of it. I don't think it was ever going to be anything more than that. I love how everybody online is obsessed with Tiff's friend. I think their name is either Natalie or Natalia. Either way, everybody loves them. The one who is encouraging the two of them to try intimacy, since you are on this experience. And I kind of personally feel that way too, where if you're doing this and we say we're breaking up and we're going to dive head first, I would honestly just expect that my partner is most likely going to be physical with another person, and that they would expect the same of me. I would assume that's something you would discuss beforehand and go in knowing realistically and honestly that's what's going to probably happen. But Tiff and Sam, they really were more buddy, and Tiff was so intense at first about the dog. I see them putting up a lot of walls. Tiff puts up just so many. There's just initial blockers where it's at the beginning of the conversation or at the beginning of the relationship. Here's some challenging things for me. My dog, that worries me. They say that a lot. Like that worries me, what you just said. And, just to kind of test the person or push them away just a little bit, or I don't know what it is. But then after a while, they open up and things come together. And that's why Tiff and Mildred, the original couple, I do really like them together. And in those last episodes when they were talking about being married and Mildred's son and how Tiff relates to them, all of that, I was like, that's so great. But the walls and the arguing, it's so hard to watch. And Sam, it's something that I'm going to actually take into my real life. I thought it was really neat, and I don't know how to describe it. It was just really cool how Sam sat back and really learned how to interact with Tiff to make them comfortable and to make her comfortable. And instead of just writing them off completely, was patient. And I don't know, it's just more like first impressions can't be everything, because Tiff's first impression a lot of time is that wall. It just is what it is. We all have, that's the other thing with the show. It should just be called traumas, because like we all, obviously everyone here has some sort of trauma or something that we're going back to. I don't even know what it is, to where they're throwing a wall up. And then freaking Sam's spouse, Aussie, who I enjoy on the show and really like as a person, I can't stand the getting up and running away. It is so frustrating, but then I completely get it. I am very conflict avoidant, very, very conflict avoidant. And that is 100% Aussie. Not even, let's talk about it a little bit, or I'll sit and listen to it. They want nothing to do with it. Will leave the room. And I feel bad. I relate to that. I get that. I'll sit there and I'll listen, but man, if I could, I would get the fuck up and just walk away from some conflicts and some things. Oh man. It's it sucked though that they left the experiment. I thought that was really, it's not fair, because they robbed Mildred of her experience. She only got to partially live with somebody because Aussie packed up and was gone. And I thought that sucked. And we don't even know what happened. I guess Tiff was, or excuse me, I guess Mildred was just alone in the apartment by herself after. I mean, what happened? Aussie just left. I hope there's a reunion. I need there to be a reunion to know, wait, where did you go? Where did you go? And then I'm also curious if Tiff knew that Mildred's partner left. I mean, that affects everybody's experiencing the entire thing, because then I'd be worried about my partner, like, oh my God, well, this sucks. I'm over here living with someone basically as a friend at this point, where we could just end this and I could go back and know that I'm fighting just for my partner. Because that's the other thing. Like, it's very obvious that people who are going to try and make moves with their original partner, and then the people who are looking to move on, and they were clearly not looking to move on. I have to wonder what Tiff and Sam thought about that situation, if they knew that Aussie left. But I don't know. Hopefully we'll find that out. But that was such a bummer. But oh man, oh, I want Aussie and Sam to work. But something happened whenever Aussie's friend showed up. That definitely was a changing point. And I don't know if that was really when they reminded them, like, you don't really do commitment. If that was just an alert, hey, yeah, you're right. What am I even doing here? Let me just stop and completely shut down. I don't know what happened, but after the first meeting with the friends, it was just bad. And this show has had some of the best friends ever. Love is Blind. I don't even know. Other shows where they end up, let's take you to meet my friends and family. A lot of times they're really weird and they throw in like really bizarre opinions, or just, it's usually just kind of odd, or good, or it's bad. This was just great. I don't know. All of their friends and family were so understanding. Lexi's mom and dad, also super gorgeous, like so understanding. Ozzy and Sam's other friend who shows up at the end, I think it might be more Sam's friend, but the one who runs out whenever Ozzy runs out of the restaurant and is having a breakdown. So many breakdowns. And to not be able to walk away from the experience, because I think that's Ozzy's thing. They would just be done totally and just move on. But to keep having to have these conversations over and over again, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. So giving some grace to that situation, because like what a weird circumstance to be under. Oh golly. But I want Tiff and Mildred to work out, but I want them in couples therapy immediately. Or also, if they don't and they go separately, I hope that they've learned something great from each other, and find perfect matches for them because they are all dynamite people. They're both dynamite people. And if Sam and Ozzy somehow don't make it, I hope that they all find great people too. But I think Sam and Ozzy can get there. Again, couples counseling. But these are the couples who I'm sure like maybe will stay with each other. Now the Mal, Yoli, Vanessa, Lexi, Ray's situation, that is a whole other thing. Mal ends up dating Lexi. Lexi's girlfriend Ray ends up dating Vanessa, and Vanessa's spouse Xander ends up dating Yoli, who is Mal's spouse. I am team Yoli, Xander till the end. I think they came on the show. It really is the stars aligned. This is one of those 1 in a million things where they have actually found love, real love, and are on the same path, have the same goals. There was just a lot of good there that I see in their relationship. And then when they meet up at the bar later and can barely hold it together, like that's the other thing. So we have these couples, like these two, like Yoli and Xander, have had this super passionate connection with each other. And then let's send them back to their spouses. So Yoli and Mal, who's like, Mal, you got to pick up your clothes. I'm tired of cleaning up like really mundane problems. So to go back to that, of course Yoli is DMing Xander on the sly. Like, how much hotter have you made this situation by let's separate them for 3 more weeks? This show, I'm telling you, the production here, it's crazy. And I feel like Mal is stepping it up, and Mal gets a lot of love online, and I love that because Mal is a really cool person. I would love to be their friend. They are dope across the board, but also that mouth is slick, and it is, it's convincing. Because I'm telling you, when Mal was talking to Lexi, like that's the person that Mal ended up paired with. When Mal was talking to Lexi, and I can see myself engaged to you, and I just love how Lexi showed up to me, like Mal's even talking to Lexi's parents and getting them on board, and you're the best trial wife ever. I mean, it is so yum. You really are selling it. And then right the next day, gets back to Yoli, and Yoli, you're my everything. I'm going to always pick you. I want to do life with you. And I'm like, wait, you are so smooth. How are you able to do this with people? And it's so sincere the way it comes across. And I don't think it's coming from a malicious place, but there is something about it that reads a bit, I don't want to say false, because I don't think they're a fake person. I just think they're a competitive person. And I've known a lot of people like this where they just have to get the person they want no matter what. And now that Yoli has one foot out the door, and Mal, once they saw how serious it was with Xander, that really kicked that competitiveness in, and that smooth talking and I'm gonna behave correctly for 3 weeks thing like kicked in really heavy. I think it's more of a competitive thing. I don't think it's how much Mal really has fallen so much more in love with Yoli from being apart from them. Because just, a day or two ago, spitting the best game ever and you're the best wife ever to Lexi. It isn't that. And it's okay, because like to come on something like with your spouse of 3 years, I think they've been together that long. Of course you think you're going to get back together, and if your thing didn't work out, I need their thing to not work out. So we are both going back home together, and it's equal, because that's how people are. We want everything to be equal amongst everyone, but that's just not how it works. And that's the hard part of the show, is that some hearts are going to get broken, And I think Vanessa's heart is going to get broken. And Vanessa, I mean, you can go online and read plenty of negative theories and thoughts on Vanessa all you want to. I don't want to get into that here. She is a lot of personality. I get it. I thought it was weird how she was coming on to Ray so intensely. And then the second they sleep together, oh, we're just friends now. That is a red flag. I mean, she turned it on and off so quickly and like, we're just friends. But like, I mean, girl, you were chasing so hard. It's, she's a lot. She's a lot. She's a lot. I get it. I get it. I mean, just exhausting. But again, I think it's she sees how much Xander really dug into this experience and fell into real love with Yoli and is now threatening, oh my God, I believe in marriage. I can't wait to get married and all this stuff where it's like, girl, no, you don't. No, you don't. You thought that this was going to be a free hookup experience. That was really what you were hoping for. And I don't blame you. That's what most people would probably be expecting from this. Again, I don't know why everyone was so shocked that people were hooking up with other people outside of the relationships. Like, wouldn't you assume if you're on a break and living with someone, like that's gonna be part of it? I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I think Vanessa was in it more for that. Like, I want to meet some cute girls and have some fun. And then once she saw how real it was for Xander, who Vanessa was somehow telling people and convinced that Xander was, if it's not for me, Xander's asexual. The footage has proven that is a lie, my friend. They are plenty sexual with Yoli. It's insane how much chemistry they have. Xander is one of those androgynous people that has a lot of people out there very confused right now, which I am living for. And, you know, honestly, seriously, if you're finding yourself attracted to Xander that deeply, like, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. Or all of the people on this. Like, I've been reading so many things of women who are asking, are conversations in relationships with women really this deep? Yes, they are. That's what the footage is. That's what you're taking from it. And if that's something that interests you, dig into those feelings. And I think that that's a cool thing that this show has done for people. You know, I think it put a spotlight on what that queer love actually can look like, because you don't see it that often. And then whenever it's written, it's usually packaged weird or for the male gaze. And this is not that. Some of the sex scenes are a little much just for my taste. I'm like, whoa, why are there these black light cameras in the damn bedrooms? This is intense. We are no longer on network television, folks. We are streaming. This is Netflix. But whatever. I mean, you know, I'm a little bit of a prude, but yeah. Xander came into this and committed fully. And I think I hope I will be devastated if Xander and Yoli do not end up together. You have absolutely no idea how sad I'll be. I really want that to work. And it's nothing against Mal. I think that there's someone really out there for Mal. I just don't think it's Yoli, because I think Yoli's that person for Xander. Sorry. Oh gosh, so rough. The show is so rough. And then Vanessa, I think Vanessa just should go explore that poly lifestyle. You were so not into marriage. You're so wanting to date other women and other people. No, she's completely pansexual, interested in everybody. So not even just women, men, everybody. Like, go date everybody. She loves the beginning of relationships. Go do that with a bunch of people. Because Xander is going to marry Yoli, because that is what Nash needs. I'm sorry, Vanessa. I'm so sorry. And Vanessa's another one who, her dad is like controversial online, but I love him. He came in kicking the straight up truth from the divorce perspective and from the perspective, like, I've definitely doubled down and gone harder for a person just because they were breaking up with me. And I thought that was really awesome of him to share that and very real. And I just thought he was really cool. I liked him. I liked all the people that everybody brought on. And I really liked Lexi's parents. Oh, the Lexi Ray situation is heartbreaking. These are people who just should not have gone on this show. They just should not have done this. It went so left from the beginning. I understand Lexi's point of view on the Vanessa thing. She's very upset that Ray got physical with Vanessa, and so much of it is Ray's fault, I guess, for running up beforehand. They had no agreement. No agreement. You got all the way there. You got all the way there, and then, girl, you blew it a little bit. You fucked it up, girl. She got all the way there, and then Ray runs up to Lexi and tells her, "I promise, I'm not gonna sleep with Vanessa." Like, just, you could have said nothing. Why did you say anything? So that's why Lexi is so upset. But I have 100% been here before. Not the exact same situation, but the, like, mania and obsession of, no, that person is bad. Why isn't everyone seeing it? I've had that happen a couple of times in my life, and it's usually stuff that's so much deeper, my own stuff that I am just projecting. And the reason why it gets so caught up in the record player in my brain is that it's ticking something from the past. But I have totally been that person. Like, my last year of college, I definitely had an obsessive, I can't stand this person, why are you all friends? Like, I've totally done this before. It's embarrassing. I bet her, looking back on it, like, she doesn't need everybody online telling her, why are you so obsessed with Vanessa? Like, you're letting it ruin your experience. Because looking back, she knows, but you just can't help it. I don't know what it is. I've been here before. I think a lot of it has to do with being young, because she's also very young. Lexi's what, 24? She just needs to grow up a little bit more. And I feel so bad, her dragging Ray so hard for having slept with Vanessa. I mean, it was one thing, I get it, the being upset with Vanessa and, like, okay, I have a bug up my butt, but to keep mentioning it to Ray, that was hard to watch. That was just painful to see her so obsessed. I don't know what she wanted Ray to say. Like, there was just nothing that Ray was ever going to be able to say to make it right. And I still don't know if that's possible. It's just upsetting. I don't know. I feel so bad for that relationship. That's one where I just rather they had not gone on the show, the two of them. Because watching Ray in the first part of the experience married to Vanessa, very sad. Now watching the second part of the experience with her relationship with Lexi breaking down, very sad. Because I think Ray is so cool. Like, she seems like such a cool chick and so fun and funny and so chill. So chill. I just don't understand how she's in, like, such a dramatic relationship. Oh, I want more for her. I want better for Lexi. Just the both of them. Not that anything's wrong with either of them. I just want them to be able to communicate better, or, communicate better with their next spouses, because hopefully they broke up. I just think it's better if they just call it time of death on this relationship and move forward. Same with Mal. There's some, and I know after this show airs and now that it's out, everybody's DMs are going crazy, and everyone from the show is going to meet some fantastic people. My listeners, y'all are probably already trying to figure out who isn't with who anymore in those messages. So I'm not really worried about it, but it was such a good show. I cannot wait for Wednesday for the new episodes. I'm hoping Mildred and Tiff stay together. I hope Ozzy and Sam stay together, and Ozzy vows to work on themselves and does work on themselves and gets better. The end. That's all I want, is just great mental health and peace for them and for everybody. That's perfect for me. I hope, well, we already saw Mal is proposing to Yoli. I hope that Mal gets over Yoli choosing Xander, because I need Xander to propose to Yoli. and Vanessa and Mal, hang out and become friends and go out and meet great people together in a perfect world, and everybody's in therapy and everything is great and we have a reunion. And then there's Ultimatum queer love check-ins every few months, and we just see what these people are up to, because I love this cast and I need to know what is going on with all of them. They gave it all for this show. It's been great TV. The conversations are so in depth. I really enjoy it. I hope that you guys are enjoying it. I would love to know other people's opinions, like who you want to see get together, who you're hoping doesn't get together. I know that we all of us, every single person listening, every person on the show, like we all need a healthy dose of therapy after that, because we're all just sitting here like, what is going on? These relationships, my relationship, like what's happening in the world? It's just a lot going on. We got a lot going on. The Ultimatum queer love has so much going on. Great television. Thank you everyone for listening to my rant on that. All right, I want to talk. I know you guys are sick of it. No, you're not. You love it. Actually, people have been telling me you love it. So whatever, we're going to keep going. I'm going to talk about the Vanderpump Rules Reunion Part 2. Part 2. It was really good to me. I thought it was good. It took me watching the Peacock version, though. The first night, I was upset. I think there's just the commercials, too. Nash in 2023... I pay for ad free on everything. I cannot handle commercials, and watching it live it's hard. It's just rough for me. So I enjoyed it the next day, because if you had asked me the first day, I'd be like, no, this sucked. But I love the uncensored, unpacked version. So good. I just think there was a little bit more going on than what, if you're just kind of a casual, or if you're new to this, like Sheena having to leave the stage is epic to me. It's epic and it's fucked up. I hate it. I am not okay with that. I get the whole restraining order thing and 100 Feet Apart, but Sheena is the crux, the glue that holds this entire show together. Whether you like her or not, we would have no VPR, really. No really good solid connection into Beverly Hills without Sheena, and Sheena being willing to open up about the Eddie, whatever his name is, Leanne Rimes' husband, Brandy's ex-husband, talking about her affair with him. This entire show kicked off with Sheena talking to Brandy Glanville. That is the start of all of the crossover of everything. She is a core member of this whole thing. And so for her to have to leave the stage just sucks. I think it just sucks, because I'm sure there's possibly a payment thing that goes along with that. I'm glad they're filming her in the trailer watching, but if they're filming her in the trailer watching and she's getting paid, that means that they're paying Raquel for being in there too, and I don't want that. I don't want anything for her. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it sucks. I hate that. I hate it. I hate the restraining order situation. And frankly, I think it's weird, and I want to know more of the details on this. This would be a great Radio Andy thing for you to tell us. How long did you have that piece of paper from Raquel in your sweaty front pocket, Andy Cohen? Because if that's something that you knew at the beginning of the reunion, I think it's just like a little messed up, a little twisted to hold on to that to the end of her segment, because it's more interesting this way. Like, this is a real court case she's going through that she's very emotional over. And if you knew that information, because who knows how many hours it's been actually filming, like, in the span of this week, we've only watched 2, but it's something like 10 hours of filming. It's like, if you knew this at the beginning of the day and she didn't find out till after lunch, like that is a little cruel, but I guess that's part of being on reality television. I have no idea, but she's a trooper. She's a trooper for doing this and for coming back at the end. Because I'd probably have been too pissed. Like, no, once you kick me off the stage, I'm about this bitch. But no, Sheena, she is a professional. She's going to come back for the toast at the end. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. punched in the face, pushed, whatever it may be. I punched that bitch in the face. I mean, no one else is saying that she said that. I don't think Raquel's even said that she said that. That's just Sandoval saying it. And we all know that he's a terribly unreliable narrator. And I think that he's doing it more to just impress Raquel, honestly. Like, I think it's something they cooked up. I don't know why. Something on my insides just tells me this is something that they cooked up. He probably didn't hear it. Like, maybe it just doesn't seem like he actually heard it. Like, he's just saying it. He says a lot of things that I don't think are true. The other thing I don't think is true, and I'm outright offended for Ariana. I'm not going to do the voice that he did because I found it to be disgusting, but his whole thing of talking about she calls him dumb and my brain don't work so good and things like that. You cannot convince me that Ariana Madix has ever said that. I'm not some huge Ariana stan before this who thought she was so interesting and fabulous or whatever. I don't know. I was bored with her at points. But still, her character and who she is, that is just something she would never say. And implying that she was talking about his intelligence or anyone's intelligence. I don't see her doing that about Tom. Now, maybe Jax or something, she sure called him stupid, and her calling Tom dumb at the reunion, fine, because he is being dumb, but that in her relationship, like painting her out to be some verbally abusive person who's calling him names and doing ignorant voices, I simply do not believe it. I just don't. And there are other elements to some of the things Tom said that I do believe. I do think that there were things that they chose to keep off camera, but they did share a lot. And his whole breakdown of, well, I want us to show more. Everybody's showing their lives, and him cooking this up to production. I believe he had already been sleeping with Raquel at that point. So it's like, you want more of your problems out, so that way we're on your side whenever you were going to fake your breakup. I mean, come on. Like, he's just, it's so gross. He's so gross. The Sandoval tantrum with the producer with the jacked up arms. Whew, that was some good television right there. Like, I love that they didn't cut the cameras. Do not cut those cameras. You keep that pressure on him. And he really thought he was going to get buck with that dude. Like, that dude had the arms and he had the control over that situation, not only physically, but with the tone of his voice. It was really actually very cool to see how he kept his cool. It was just letting him know, like, the more you talk, idiot, the more we're going to keep filming you. And you know what's messed up is that whole time. So that's their lunch break. And I didn't put this together. I should find the person who wrote about it or who mentioned it. It was a Reddit post. So credit to Reddit. All credit to Reddit. Hey. But so that was at lunch, right? That whole situation where Tom is yelling and screaming at the producer and he wants to talk to Raquel privately. And then you see James and everyone else at lunch and Ariana and Sheena talking about, okay, well, you're going to leave right now and then come back later, all that jazz. And Tom Schwartz, he has nobody. Tom Sandoval couldn't give two shits about Tom Schwartz, who's covered for him, who's allegedly his best friend. He just left him alone. He's alone inside with nobody to eat with, nobody to talk to, just didn't check on him at all. He is such a bad friend. Like, Sandoval is such a terrible friend. Not that Schwartz deserves a good friend right now, but man, if that's not the most telling thing in the world, just left him behind. He'd already coached him good enough, I guess. Whew, that was a lot. The part two, I know it's slow. Like, we're obviously waiting to get to part three. It's going to be so good once Raquel gets out there. Are you kidding me? And then whatever this last 5 minutes is, all the speculations that I've heard is that Lisa knew ahead of time that it started earlier. And then but they say that the rumor is so bad that people might not want to sign their contracts or might want space or something like that. So the rumor is that the timeline is longer. I don't know if that's enough to make people not want to sign. If the rumor is Raquel saying that she was with another of the women's spouses, yes, that might make some people not want to come back to the show. But oh my God, I'm hoping it's not that. That's too dark. That's so dark. I just don't know what it's going to be. Tell me your thoughts, what you think it's going to be. I don't know. Maybe she's going to just like unzip her skin and reveal that she's a Westworld robot. Who knows at this point? Like, there's just so many possibilities. It's too much. The Raquel one-on-one with Andy, what what a disaster. And Andy Cohen is such a hoot because he can't even hide it on his face talking to this girl. I I'm just floored with her the entire time. I don't know what to say about Raquel. She is such a unique character. And to say that, oh yeah, I hope that I get to come back to the show. Like, yeah, I want to come back. You want to come back to do this? That's what you're thinking about in this moment. Not, I hope that I can repair these relationships. I hope one day I can regain the trust of the public. One day I hope that I can forgive myself or something powerful or impactful. Nope. One day I hope I can go back to the show. And then the thing she says to Sheena once Sheena gets the hot paper from Andy's breast pocket. Well, maybe I should have written Sheena a handwritten note. That was like the weirdest thing to say. Oh, and the other weird thing Raquel says, like everything she said was so bizarre in this reunion. I mean, we didn't lie about anything except for this affair. Okay, well, honey, that's like 100 lies on top of everything. Like, it doesn't count as just like one bulk lie that we're upset with you about and that people are holding you accountable for. It's all the times you lied in people's faces. Like, there's a lot more to it. It's not just a wholesale package deal of lies that makes it one big homogenous lie. That was insane to me. The girl is something else. I'm ready for her to get back out on that stage, or to get out on that stage with Ariana and get that verbal ass whooping that she's been asking for and that she needs. And I hope that they're able to talk some sense into that girl. And hopefully that once she's out there, we can really lay into Sandoval and get some sense into him. I still do not understand why he is screaming at Ariana, and I will never be okay with that. How, and well, I mean, obviously a million reasons why, but how do you cheat on someone for months and months and have the nerve to be mad at them and then want to yell at them and blame them for the whole thing? I just know this is what cheaters do. This is what people do. This is how we were on a break. We were on a break in real life. Oh my God. So stressful. No, actually that's, the Ultimatum. We were on a break. That is Ray and Lexi. We were on a break, but I digress. I don't know. I'm so upset with Sandoval and him calling Ariana a motherfucker or whatever, and LVP calling him out. And I'm like, Lisa, are you really going to sit here and stand by this? You're going to stick with this guy? Really? Like, you're hearing it with your own ears, him yelling and screaming at the woman he cheated on. Girl, if you don't get it together by the time the next season rolls around, I don't know what's going to happen for LVP. My thing, you heard it here first, folks. Is that what Caroline Manzo says? I think that's what she says. But either way, you heard it here first. This is my theory. I think this will be the last reunion we ever see LVP at, because she lost control of the kids. She lost control of the narrative a bunch. They were screaming at her. I don't think she'll ever do this again. She does not do stuff where she's going to not look great. And she's not looking great right now. And I don't know how she can regain that control with them, or that reverence they all once had for her. I don't know how she can do that again. And the fact she's still up here mentioning Kristen and stuff to James, like, how gross is that? I don't know. It's obnoxious. And I hope it's her last reunion at this point. I'm very mad at LVP. I'm very mad at her right now. And also, I am so mad at James. I mean, I struggle with James. Y'all know, it's like I find him funny at times, and then there's the stuff where he goes too far. We just skated past him grabbing a waitress's ass. I don't care how mad we are at Sandoval. That's not acceptable. And I like Allie. I think Allie can stand on her own as a character. And if she is staying with this guy just to be on the show, it's like, just let the girl be on the show where she doesn't have to deal with this anymore. Because that's not cool. And I wish he would have refuted that harder if it didn't happen, but it seems like it happened. And to hear that they made her sign some paper, I mean, insane. And we just skated right past it because we're also mad at Tom. Like, no, that is absolutely horrible behavior, deplorable behavior from James. So everybody who's super team James, like, help me understand how we're getting past the ass grabbing situation and the yelling and screaming at his girlfriend and cussing people out. I need him to get it together. I need him to get it together. I want to get on team James, but it's going to have to take a lot of change, like a lot more change than what I'm seeing, which is none. And the storming off, I get it. I don't think he's storming off to do cocaine. I don't know why everybody keeps saying that. I'm like, is that how that works? I mean, he comes back and he seems so calm. Like, I don't think that's what's happening. I think he really does just get up and walk away from the situation and go in the mouth. I really do not think he is doing drugs. I mean, why would we say that whenever like Schwartz is actively on stage, like taking medication? I just think that's so funny that that's the assumption people that it is about the pasta here. Me personally, Nash, I don't think that that's what's happening. I think he is just walking away, but it's slowing things down, gumming up the works. So I kind of need James to just, like Andy keeps saying, stay in his fucking chair so we can get through this. But yes, Vanderpump Rules Reunion Part 2, there was a lot happening there. A lot of just little tidbits that came out. The things that Tom was saying to Lala, disgusting. I mean, the IUD comment, I don't even want to get into any of that. That was just so gross. Like, Lala's gotten so much shit this year, and then to get that too, I'm just like, ugh, gross. Gross. Tom, you're gross. Don't just, ugh. It was awful. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Women can do whatever they want to with their birth control whenever they want to and for whatever reason they want to. You can think it's dumb. That's nobody's business. Sorry, I'm not going to go on a tirade. Sorry. I just am very annoyed. I thought that I didn't like that section. Let me not keep going on this. Let's just all take a deep breath, prepare ourselves for part 3, really truly prepare ourselves for the last 5 minutes of part 3, which is really what we're all living for right now, is to know what's going to happen. So yeah, we will reconvene on Tuesday after the Summer House part 2, their reunion part 2. Some other stuff's going to come on. Maybe some people will go to the nashattack.com/tips and we'll go to the Buy Me a Coffee page and suggest some stuff for me to watch. I don't know. But we'll come up with some stuff to talk about next week. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Go back and listen to the other episodes if you haven't had a chance. If you haven't had a chance to listen to me talk about AI, if you want to hear more talk about Vanderpump Rules, the other parts, if you missed the other chat about that and you're a VPR stan, go and listen to those. Thank you so much for tuning into my little podcast, people. You have no idea what it means to me. I am not a celebrity sitting and talking about the sitcom that I was on for 15 years that made me famous. I'm just a random schmo out here who wants to chit chat and share about their life and talk reality TV with you guys and any friend and person who, yeah, you're all my friends. You know, you're my friends. Y'all my friends. Any person who sits and listens, I appreciate it so much because I know there's so much good content out there. And I'm telling you, you could go listen to the freaking cast of The Office talk about The Office. Like, there's people solving murders on these podcasts, and you still chose to come to the Nash Attack. I don't want to get emotional, but it really touches my heart and makes me feel so good. And the podcast is pulling me out of a funk that I didn't think I would ever get out of. So if you're a listener, you have really helped me, and I appreciate you so much. And I'm sending you so much good energy. You can listen to this podcast and every episode of the Nash Attack podcast at www.thenashattack.com. You can check out my Instagram. I am at the Nash Attack Podcast. I do some graphics on there. There's going to be more clips and things. I'm trying to do more on social media. Oh, I used to do really good TikToks with my Barbies. You know, at the beginning we were talking about Barbies, so one day maybe I'll get back into that. That is so much work. We should talk about that. How much work it is to put together a TikTok and then for it to not get as many views as you hope for. Like that is a feeling of rejection that almost hurts worse than not getting a job, but not quite. Not quite. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Oh, yeah, check out the www.nashattack.com/tips page where you can buy me a cup of coffee if you just want to make a little donation, however you want to do it. There's a lot of options on there. Love, love, love anybody who's given to that. Love anybody who's even considered it. I appreciate it so much. Thank you again for your time. I hope that you have such a good one, and I will talk to you when I talk to you.
Hi, this message is for Nash. Yeah, we were just following up. This is our 10th phone call. We wanted to let you know that we actually hired a woman named Sandy instead of you. It's Sandy's birthday. We're actually all having cake right now to celebrate her. She was way more qualified. Wanted to let you know that you did not get the role. Sandy got the role. We love her. We'll probably be sending you some snail mail soon, letting you know that you didn't get the job and that you're worthless. Okay, thanks. Have a good one.